but we are joined by Jimmy from Explore the Force. Before we get into anything today, Jimmy, how's it going, man?
Well, other than everything we were venting about prior to coming on live, everything's pretty good.
In case you
Yeah,
guys don't know, we are both Steeler fans, and it has been we live in Paynesville for the last like 2 weeks.
Last about, I don't know, 10 years or so. Yeah.
yeah, it gets rough out there, and that's
But
that's for sure. I know how it is.
things are
I know
good.
how it is.
Hoping for a snow day tomorrow.
Bummerville's beautiful today, man. It looks good.
Yeah, for sure. John, how's your week been, man?
It's good, man. It's what we've been talking about. Again with our podcast last week, we brought up that mall show, and then what, 2 days later, boom, and we get the mall
Yeah.
trailer. So it's been, that's what I'm really excited for is, we get this trailer during the Super Bowl. We'll really get to see what's going on. I really hope Disney cuts the check for the Super Bowl and puts out a few trailers. I think they're going to, but yeah, man, I'm hyped for where we're at.
That would be fire for sure. I know it seems like now I'm thinking today, like, what are we going to talk about that's going to either drop or get released, whether tonight, tomorrow, or the next day? Because every
No
time we
free
talk
ads,
about
but
something, it happens.
yeah, Disney and Lego, you hear us out, man.
Yeah, for real. Jimmy, how's Explore the Force going? I've been really tuning in with your guys' like midnight releases our time.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
just because I'm up building Lego and I'm kid free at midnight. So
Nice.
yeah.
No, yeah, things have been going pretty good. Charlie's busy this weekend at a con in London. So Jack and I will be later this afternoon. We'll be interviewing the people behind Wikipedia. So pretty excited for that.
Oh,
Like just
Oh
kind of
damn.
a fun thing. But yeah, we've been pretty happy with everything so far. We got some stuff lined up. Um, and we seem to be stuck in algorithm purgatory right now, but we're having fun talking Star Wars, loving everything that's coming out. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan, just with everything we've gotten these last couple, just kind of eating well right now.
Yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure. Yeah, you guys are about to hit 10K on Instagram too. Shout
Yeah,
out
we've
to
been
you
about
guys.
to hit 10K for like 4 months now. That's what kind of what I was mentioning. The algorithms, I don't know what's going on.
Hey,
We've been
man, that
we've been
10K is
stuck
huge.
112 away. I mean, for months it seems like. I don't know. We're get to that point now where we feel like there's evil forces out against us or something. But we're just plugging away and having fun. And again, yeah, we want that 10K mark. That's exciting for us, especially when we started out just having a fun conversation. But we'll continue to talk Star Wars even if we have one follower. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
um, YouTube side of things keeps growing, TikTok keeps growing. So the socials are good, and we'll keep. Sometimes I wonder if we lose because we're not like hating on Star Wars all the time. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we lose people because we're trying to be positive, but yeah, we're gonna keep being us and keep driving forward.
I was gonna say
Two
a quick way to get it is just be like, you know what? I hate this. This sucks. Kathleen Kennedy, she
I
sucks.
hate Star Wars.
Yeah, you'll get some
Brandon
followers
just
real
has
quick.
to say The Last Jedi is my favorite movie, and then boom, 100 clicks.
Let's
Yeah. So
go.
I mean, even when we just, I don't know if people haven't watched our show, even when we don't like something, like I don't like The Last Jedi. Like, it's not my favorite by any means, but we've had people come on and try to like convince us otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, we're always open to other things, and I think that's kind of the fun stuff that we
Oh
do
yeah.
on our show is
And
we don't we don't close our minds to other people's opinions, but we also express ourselves in a way that's not like derogatory towards people who do like stuff.
Yeah.
well, and two things can always be true at the same time. So it's like there's able to have that conversation and respect the aspect of where one comes from.
And yeah, in the grand schemes, it's such a big giant story. Like, who really cares that much? You know what I mean? I know we all love Star Wars. Obviously, we're here and we got these great backgrounds going on. We've invested a lot of money and our time and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme, you know, like,
Yeah.
I love it, but and it's everything we do. But come on, you can't sit there and be making enemies over this stuff.
No,
I know. Sometimes I get so mad at like other like creators where they're just really pushing like the hate against Star Wars, and it's like,
Seems to
in
sell
my
though.
opinion, yeah, it works, and that's the thing is it's like I look at that person now as a person who hates Star Wars, not as a person who likes
Yeah,
Star Wars.
I remember
So
being at Chicago and yelling at Geeks and Gamer Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers at the Chicago celebration. I'm like, what are you even? We're going up the escalator, right? We're going up this escalator. For some reason, mine's moving a little bit faster, and we're going to the Jedi Fallen Order. Is it Fallen Order the first one? Which ones? I
Yeah.
always mess up. So
Yeah.
we're going to the Fallen Order panel. And I'm like, dude, why are you even here? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you hate Star Wars. Like, why are you here? You know, and just started getting into it with him. And then I ran into Ken Knapsack from, back then it was Collider, but Force Center podcast. I was like, hey, dude, I just ripped Jeremy. He's like, oh, I hate that. You know what I mean? It was just kind of funny. But yeah, I think you're right, though. Like, it's sad that they have Theory has what 3 million. He's the largest, and he kind of spews the hate and things like that. But we got people like Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. I think he's been on with you. You've done some
Oh
stuff
yeah.
with Mike, and he's
Mhm.
growing rapidly, and he's a positive dude, man. He loves it. Brings a good
Yeah,
vibe
shout
to it.
out
So
shout out a guy who loves Star Wars. Go follow him if you haven't already. That dude is
he's,
so cool.
he's so much fun.
Every time I get together with him, I'm like, dude, like this is my brother from another mother right here.
Oh, yeah, like I
Good
know,
dude.
yeah,
Good
he
dude.
is exactly what Star Wars needs. I'm super happy for his success. I found him, and he had like 4,000 followers. It was like a year and a
That's
half or 2 years ago, and now
that's
he's like
crazy.
closing, I think maybe like 200,000 on YouTube, and but he's doing it in a positive way. He's not, he's got a positive community, and he gives back. He and I spent like an hour and a half on a phone call just talking about things, and he was like, yeah, we'll keep talking. He's just I don't know, what a great
Yeah.
guy. That's
Yeah,
what's
he does.
fun about the community, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you and we've talked about this before, but we wouldn't even know each other if it wasn't for Star Wars.
Right. Yeah.
And as our circles expand with people we get to know and friends we make, and then those things overlap, it's such a fun community to be a part of. I
Mhm.
think the people out there that are hating on Star Wars are just kind of silly because they're not getting the most out of the community that they could be.
Brandon and I had never met each other, and we both met at a wedding, and that was
Is
like,
that
oh,
how,
cool.
is that how you guys? I was gonna say, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
It was
awesome.
go ahead, John.
all you, big dog. You lead the way.
I was about to say my Lindsay went to
Oh, I had to
a
fight her still.
for Solo.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little fisticuffs.
I think Lindsay's probably in the chat. Lindsay, you probably you better watch out. Uh, also, dude, Andy from the Galactic Core podcast, now Why So Sidious. He one time we were talking Star Wars, and I was like, dude, all the Star Wars that we've watched, Lindsay would just like bawled and was so mad at me because I didn't tell her Han Solo died, and she was so pissed. And Andy was just like, he's like, really? Anakin slayed younglings, and you're crying about Han Solo? But it's so funny. She always gets the tough end of the stick, um, but yeah. So Lindsay and John's wife were on a what is that? What is it called?
The
Bachelorette
brides,
trip,
yeah,
or
bridesmaids.
yeah. So they're bridesmaids in a wedding, and Lindsay said something about Star Wars, and then his wife was like, "Oh, my husband loves Star Wars," and she's like, "My husband loves Star Wars." And then she's like, "Yeah, we even named our cat Lando," and he's like, "We named our cat Mando." And then there was just like a back and
That's
forth.
awesome.
And then I remember Lindsay's like, "Can you send me a picture of your collection?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll send you one." So I did, and then Steph got a picture of John's collection, and then
Nice,
we just
which is
kind of like,
most impressive.
most impressive. And then
Just
once
guys
the
being
wedding came
dudes.
around, yeah, just dudes being guys, fellas being dudes. We
That's awesome.
we met at the wedding, and then I was, drinks started flowing. It was,
Oh yeah.
getting ready for the wedding. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get on the podcast sometime, and then now we live stream. So shout out to the wives, shout out to Star Wars. So it's
Man,
kind of
and
like a
isn't that the best part of Star Wars, man? Like, just bringing
yeah.
people together. And I mean, I know we have some negative run-ins every once in a while with people, but yeah, it's just the friendships and the community that it has built. Just so much fun.
When it was
Yeah.
cool to kinda, like, I had never really been into, like, owning it more or less. Um, it's like my personal other friend groups, like, it's not really their thing, so I don't go around and talk about it with them and things like that. So meeting Brandon, it was like I didn't do any of the social media or anything before that, and then it was like, "Oh, like, I'm cool with it." Like, I'm cool with owning my stuff and enjoying it and talking about it, and yeah, it's like I don't have any hate. I'm here to have a good time, so it's like
Awesome.
I'll make I'll give my 2 cents on certain things, but at the end of the day, it's just something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's always good to have an outlet, man. That's kind of why we started to explore the force. We were from all three of us, Taylor and myself and Jack. We were all friends from another podcast, and just didn't feel like just kept feeling like we wanted to talk more about stuff and get that outlet. So that's awesome. I'm glad you found it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing too with you guys is it's all weird how close we are. You know, we're like an hour apart, but it's
Mm.
just weird because like there's only a certain group of people that I feel like I can continually talk Star Wars with, and like you guys definitely fall into that realm because it's like we'll like the first time we hooked up at IHOP, you know, we're hanging out
Oh
talking,
yeah.
and it's just like, so what do we think about Boba Fett in the book of you know? It's just like, why are we talking? Well, let's talk about how good these pancakes are, you know. But it's just, we're always pondering about Star Wars and just like what's going on? What do we think's gonna happen here? So that's what's always cool.
Absolutely.
But before we get into it, Maul Shadow Lord, a little bit of Taika Waititi's news with his movie, whatever we expect from that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hit the chat real quick. I Haja once again every Sunday he's here.
The
And
man, the
the
legend.
man himself, Clando Amando, the Boba Fett, Skywalking Ryan in the building. Happy Sunday. How is everyone? Doing good, man. Doing
What's
good.
up, Skywalker?
My man's still grinding that Fallen, that Jedi game.
Man, it gives me so much anxiety watching other people play because it's like I struggled there too.
What's up, Patrick?
Poptography. What's up, Patrick in the building? Jimmy from Explosive Force 2, international stuff. Yes, this is our Scotland guy.
Yeah, we know I hogged, so
Good guy. And
Hooked up at IHOP.
hey, pause. We got
Hey,
together
yo.
at IHOP.
We had a business meeting at IHOP.
We did.
Just where did we go then? Where was that lunch place? That was pretty good.
Oh my goodness. Coops Pizza.
Yeah, that's it.
And your buddy got wings. I'm like, man, you gotta get some pizza. You gotta
Yeah,
get
I
some
know.
pizza. But that's okay.
Uh-oh, Miss Pat's throwing down the gloves. Here
Oh
we
yeah.
go.
Yep, she's ready. I'll probably hear it when I go upstairs too. Why were you outing me in the chat?
Say it to my face.
Yes, pause. We had lunch at IHOP. Chill
Hey
out.
man, what happens at IHOP stays at IHOP.
It's like Vegas. It's like
yeah,
Vegas.
just like Vegas.
Oh, there they are. Why So City has popped in. What's up, guys? I don't know which one of you, one of four, are watching. But the Maul trailer was incredible. Needed a hype boost for Star Wars personally, and after this Andor, we are getting some momentum into Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm hoping so hard that the movie kills it. Yeah, I think it'll all work out pretty well.
Yeah,
I think it
definitely
will.
nervous.
Cooking.
But yeah, Patrick, I agree with you. And yeah, you commented on my last video, and we're kind of talking about how things going forward are going to work, and I just think it's going to. Like, there's just no way it doesn't. I think everything's going to work out pretty well. But so, Jimmy, what did you think of the Maul Shadow Lord trailer when you first saw it?
Well, Celebration or the one we just got?
The one we just got.
Man, I was pumped.
And then we'll go back to Celebration.
So, because I was real nervous about just like, here we go, like a retread kind of thing. But man, they added some stuff, and I love animation. I love Sam Witwer. And I was like, oh, and I remember my first notes was violent AF was like the first thing I wrote down when I was like getting notes ready for Charlie and I to talk about it. But yeah, it looks phenomenal. I can't wait. I think I mean, it might end up being the best thing in Star Wars this year, just with the storytelling that they usually do in animation. So
yeah.
This is the underworld show we needed.
yeah,
Like
hopefully
that we've been hearing all these teasers, the canceled Jango Fett game, like all these different things. It's like, okay, we get the story. Where has Maul been? What is he doing? He's chopping up, stormtroopers, and it's gonna be good.
Well, what's so cool too is it's only a year after Order 66. So you got to think of all the emotions that Maul is actually going through. Ahsoka just, denied him clearly and beat him. And he was just in that mental state, especially when he got like tied up and he was like, let me fall because this ain't going to be good. So you got to think of all the things that he's going through. Whether
He's
you
like,
like villains or Sith or Jedi, I mean, you definitely are getting that certain Star Wars from a certain point of view with this show. And I think we're going to really feel for Maul a lot. But then at the same time, I think he's going to have flashes of it's like, oh, yeah, that dude sucks. Just like before,
I always go ahead. Sorry, George.
no, all you meant, go for it.
I just feel like Maul's like this Shakespearean him and Asajj kind of have this like Shakespearean kind of evolution. I mean, she kind they go different ways. You know, their
Hmm.
stories definitely go different ways, but they both have like the same similar path where it's just, you know, when you think about how it's going to end for him, and I know they won't retcon that. It's like he's just no matter what happens, he's just not going to learn enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, come on, man. But your heart kind of bleeds for the guy because he would have been a hell of a Jedi. His
Oh
passion
yeah.
stuff, but he also, I think, he would have been like the next Anakin in line because his passion and his
Mhm.
commitment. So who knows?
Well, and the
Yeah.
last time we saw him and the Emperor, it was the Emperor killing
Yeah.
Asajj in front of him, just kinda mucking both of them and then torturing Maul. So it's like that hate for the Emperor is still fresh. He knew what was gonna happen with the fall of the Republic. It's like he's gotta just be like, I'm gonna do something about this. Like, if no one else is gonna do something, I will do it in the shadow.
Hmm.
Shadow Lord.
Shadow Lord. And that's cool too that they bring that from Rebels, like they're talking about the shadow. He's here, when they're on Malachor. So that's cool that they are adapting that nickname to his actual show. See where it all
Mhm,
starts. Um, One thing too that and it's kind of like the Book of Boba Fett for me. I remember staying up till 2 a.m. and watching that first drop of that episode and seeing Boba get out of the Sarlacc pit was even more satisfying than seeing Dooku in Tales of the Jedi erasing Kamino from the archives. Because it's like that he did it, but it's like how did he do it? So you get that
mhm.
satisfaction. So seeing Boba get out of the Sarlacc pit the way he did was just, I mean, 10 out of 10 satisfaction. So what I'm really hoping is like in the first episode of the Maul Shadow Lord, if this is all centered around Maul, we got to see where it started and how it's continuing because we know how he falls. Of course, spoiler warning if you haven't seen Rebels, go watch it. Um, but
Twin
I
sons.
want to see him fall, cut in half. Like, could you imagine a POV falling and looking up at young Obi-Wan at the top of like the circle and just seeing him fall and seeing how he got to the like little
Oh,
trash planet?
that's a
Like that would be so cool. Like that's what
That
I want
hate
to see
for
happen.
Obi-Wan keeping him alive.
Literally, like I want to see that.
that's a great shout to do some kind of like flashbacks because he's had quite the adventure. You know what I mean?
Good God. Or
From that point
or
on.
yeah, or even seeing like Mother Talzin just handing him over to Palpatine.
Yep.
Like, could you imagine seeing that like as a POV? Like, then that's how you really let the emotions settle in and be like, oh, dude, that sucks. They like she just handed him over, basically for peace between the Sith and the Night Sisters. So like that would be cool. You'd feel bad for Maul right away if they did that. And yeah, it's just Maul is such a different character from others in Star Wars. I mean, I love most characters in Star Wars. I mean, if I was to hate a character, it's Barasafi. That's the only character I'm like, nah, she's trash. Get her out of here. But I like Maul is just one of those ones on the top of my list where I'm just like, man, this dude is so interesting. We know a lot about him, but yet we don't. So that's where I'm really hoping that the show just takes off, like, and is just great.
Seems like there's gonna be a lot going on. I mean, I sat down and I started writing down relationships for the show, and I just had Maul trying to corrupt Twi'lek and her master, space cops going after Gang, Empire Inquisitors chasing Maul. Like this is enough in a minute and a half, teaser trailer. There's like 47 things that are happening. That if you take a look at it a couple times, you can see like what's all these connections. So it's gonna be a lot going on.
Yeah, John, anything from on your end, man? What do you think from this trailer?
I just, man, I've been hyping this up a little bit. I personally, I've kind of been thinking the Filoni era is gonna do some numbers, so I've kind of been trying to support that end. But I just love the animation style. Like, to me, this is one of my favorite things in Star Wars. Clone Wars season seven introduced it. They carried forward with the Bad Batch, things like that. So I'm really hyped to go back to this. And I love just what it's gonna be. And we know that the there's going to be all kinds of corruption. There's going to be different things going on, manipulation. So I would like to see the dark side used by Maul in we don't really get to see that master and apprentice
Mhm.
forming. So it's like, I'm going to like to see that he tries to do it with Ezra. It doesn't work. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes about trying to corrupt this young Jedi. probably just like a we're gonna stand and fight type of thing because that's her. In the trailer, I think she's like, are we just gonna keep running or something like that? And it's like Maul's gonna stand there and be like, no, we're gonna fight and we're gonna chop them up and then you know carry forward. And so to see that and then move into how does he become the head of the syndicates and things like that. I I have so much going on in my mind, like you said, man. Like there's a lot to process.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for it. And it's also like with the animation style, it's like Clone Wars season 7, you really get the weight from it, but it seems like there's like some airbrush like finish to it.
Hmm.
It seems like it's like kind of comic style. I don't know. It's different.
Looks gritty to me. Like it looks,
Yeah.
Grainy.
yeah. It looks really cool, and I feel like it's gonna be kind of, how like the into the Spider-Verse movies, they have that little bit of animation like different. I feel like it's gonna hit like right in the moments it's supposed to. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I feel like it's gonna really, because a couple times you see it in the trailer where it's just like when Maul comes out and it's his saber blade, you know, he ignites his saber, and then the animation kind of gets grittier and grainier, and I think it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. For
It's
sure.
like the underworld is wet, it's dark, it's muggy. Like it definitely portrays that. And I think Fulcrum Noah posted that shot of like the canvas glass that they took of the shot. Like that was
Mhm.
beautiful. Like so
Yeah.
the art style that's going to be in this, I am hyped to see what effort goes into that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, my wife says she's not into animated. That's where she loses me. That's kind of where I was too until I watched Star Wars animation, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like how Mando United said is he likes the animation, but for other genres he doesn't. And that's the thing. If another show, like let's say I don't know, like if Breaking Bad got like a animation show, like I'm gonna watch it because I want more story, but
Hmm.
I wouldn't prefer it. But with Star Wars, it's like that's where you get that real in-depth storytelling every single time. It's like there's not a single miss with animation. And that for us Star Wars fans is we're like, oh yeah, we need more animation because that's how we know we're getting great storytelling. Um, but yeah, I get it. One thing though from the trailer that I saw, of course, as we mentioned, we're getting another hallway scene. We always love the, but the way Maul had like the the troopers on each side when he hit one with one end of the blade and then turned and hit the other with the other end, I was like, oh my god, that is crazy, you know. And this then that's the thing, animation. Yeah, imagine seeing that live action. That would be something else. But it was it was executed so well for the trailer. So I am so excited to see Maul in action because he's gonna whip some ass, and we know that.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a cool. I really think. I was looking up. I knew they posted his name somewhere, but Master Iko Diodaki is that Jedi. I mean, that was one thing that really threw me for a loop, was seeing a third Jedi in the mix, or a third Force user in the mix. The
Yeah,
I'm having feelings of like Kanan, Ezra, and Maul, but it's gonna be Devin and Master Iko and Maul. Like it's gonna be a whole, and it's kind of like, what's he going to learn from this that he's going to use to try to manipulate Ezra later on, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So kind of, and then of course there's, who is this Twilight, who is Devin going to become, and all this stuff kind of thing. So
I think Master E gets killed pretty quickly in the series. I'm
yeah,
gonna throw that out there as my theory
yeah,
time.
I hope you're probably not wrong. I hope that he's there to kind of build up, and we're only getting 10 episodes, so if he can like build
Hmm.
up and can be like, the angel on her shoulder, and whereas Maul is the devil on her shoulder or whatever. Just, and then her conflict and all that stuff. I think that would be good storytelling. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, you're probably not wrong. He's probably going to get like sacrifice himself or do something. I mean, he's like wailing on that ship that came around, that speeder or
Yeah.
whatever. I was like, whoa, like it was crazy.
getting it. Yeah, and it was
So
confirmed that he's that I can't remember the name of a species, but it's like the dinosaur species.
yeah,
And they
um,
love doing their little flashbacks. So it's like, even if he only makes it to even if he doesn't make it out of episode 1 or 2, it's like there's gonna be that flashbacks where she has the thought of him training or doing something, and it's like, do I really wanna move forward with this decision or something like that? Like, they always throw in the little flashback.
Yeah. Man.
do we get an
Uh,
Order 66 scene, or
Oh,
are we
yeah.
done with those?
No, no, no.
Dude,
No.
Yeah.
Keep feeding.
People who are just like, I'm tired of the Order 66 scenes. It's like, I'm not. If you
No,
don't want to give it to me, I want more of it.
I want to
Until
see.
I get the march on the temple, I will not be satisfied. Like,
Mm,
I think it goes to show, like, if you get to see this in these different planets and these different places, like we saw in Revenge of the Sith, how well planned out and how evil, it just makes Palpatine just that much more evil that he
yeah.
planned out, with the
yeah.
help so I mean, I'm here for it, and the action's always awesome. It's heartbreaking a lot of the
Hmm.
times, but yeah,
I
it's
mean,
awesome.
the Bad Batch showing why Kanan hated clones so much, like, that was
Dude,
awesome to
yeah.
see, like, so I love that you bring up the other planets because it's like, you see the snippets in Revenge of the Sith, but that's
Mhm.
where it's like, the animated shows usually give you, like, you see, you know, 15 different Jedi on different situations all incur the same thing. I mean, even in the game in Fallen Order, you get your
Mhm.
master who has the, um, I forget his name,
Gerald Gerald to Paul.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, he has it in that moment. So I love that they continuously bring in the different perspectives across the galaxy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like the Jedi Order was huge. It's like, and we only ever focus on like a finite amount.
Yeah, and yeah, I know a lot of people, "Oh, no, they're Jedi that survive." Like, there are 10,000 of them, roughly or
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, that's gonna be hard to wipe them out, plus you got kids, and you have people who, I mean, Force users that weren't Jedi that might be,
Yeah.
and also, like, you never know who's training where and what's doing, and that they lose track of things. It happens a lot in the High Republic where they just, like, lost track of people and things like
yeah.
that, so I mean, you never know.
Like
So
how
I
many
I don't
true Force users are in the galaxy at the
yeah,
time?
I don't know. I don't have any problem with it. And I think, like, you think, like, Filoni talks about, like, you have these stories that kind of contradict each other, but, like, when you were watching Star Wars: A New Hope, that's their reality, is that they're the only ones left, maybe, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And and even in that, they kind of come back at the end and, like, oh no, there's another one, so
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
think if you want to hate on it, you can. I see it, but if you also want to just, you know, use your imagination and let it kind of flow out, I feel
yeah.
like it can really be a lot more fun that way.
And he also like the other thought on that is like, how many clones all turned at one time? Like that's pretty impressive for the chip to be designed that. I know we're getting into the niche of it, but like the efficiency and effectiveness of him giving out one
Yeah.
order and then 2 million clones all just like that. It's like incredible. So it's like to then also see that perspective of soldiers just following orders is pretty, indoctrinating.
Yeah. And that's also like you got to think too, like at the Jedi Temple, yes, there's going to be a lot of Jedi. It would be probably more so like Padawans and like lower end
Hmm.
knights. Of course, like in the Kenobi series, we see like Reva and her friends. But when Anakin was sent to the temple to take out the Jedi, not everyone's there. I mean, people forget that the Clone Wars literally just ended right before like Palpatine's arrest. So all of these Jedi that are masters and higher knights are out in the galaxy, you know, extinguishing the during the Clone Wars, like they're out there trying to get rid of, the planet that they're on and all that stuff. So you got to kind of think that how many Jedi are still out there. I mean, Obi-Wan even made a transmission saying, any surviving Jedi do not come back here. It is not it's not even the temple anymore, basically.
Yoda
It's
had to
like,
go back to Yoda had to go fight on Kashyyyk, and we get that clip from season 7 Clone Wars where Mace Windu is like, "We have thousands of battlefronts, and we're losing on almost all of them." So it's
yeah,
like, the fact that a Jedi Master on the Council had to go out to a front just gives you insight on, like, how stretched the logistics are.
yeah. And that's like one of the biggest tragedies in Star Wars is the, Order 66. So like why would we not that single that single happening right there completely flipped the galaxy. This helped the Empire rise. This helped the Jedi not be a threat anymore. At a
The dark
huge
side
number,
prevailing.
literally. So it's just like, yeah, I want more Order 66. Give it to me. I need more.
Not to This is why I want the Rey series to happen, is the fact that, can she learn from, and God, I hate to use this word, the hubris of the Jedi, right? Like,
Hmm.
they have lost their way, and they start to show that in the High Republic and the things like that. And then, of course, we get to the Phantom Menace and everything. And but are they going to retread everything? Is she going, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see the changes that are made, and maybe this time
Mhm.
it stands or whatever. So I'm kind of excited about that because all the things you guys said, you know, they set themselves up for failure with obviously with the Palpatine and them behind the scenes, but it could be a really interesting story if they dive into it.
Yeah. That's
And
that's
and
kinda go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know you hate Barris, but that's one of those things where it's like the only point she makes is where it's like the Jedi have lost their way type of vibe. So it's like, you see that where it's like it gets called out. Dooku tells Obi-Wan straight up what's happening. So it's like,
Mhm.
you know, but anyways,
Yeah, nah. See, and that's the thing with Barris, is like I don't like her, but it's just like, is she valid at times? 100%. It's just, she's just not on my list, you know? Uh, but yeah, Order 66 also helps Maul and the rest of the underworld to thrive in chaos. Yeah, which is
facts.
awesome. That's another thing outside of Order 66. It's gonna be so cool. And I think that's such a cool thing that they noticed or mentioned in the trailer, was that Emperor Palpatine knows Maul is still out there, being a thorn in his side, and is like, yo, we got to get this figured out. Like, he has to go. And you got to think of Palpatine too. Maybe he should have killed him on Mandalore when they had the
Mm,
chance, or when he had the chance, So, um, thinking, killing Savage would kind of send him out into hiding and, not mess with him anymore. That would be a thing. But it's like now Palpatine knows that Maul is out there, and that's cool that they showed that in the trailer, because now going into the show, we understand that Palpatine could either be a presence again, or like in the Bad Batch where he's kind of shown a few times, or like Andor where he's mentioned, but you feel the presence of Palpatine behind you the entire time. Which, I mean, Andor, good lord, beautiful. But yeah, that's what I'm really hoping with this, and that's why I think we're gonna see Vader. I just think it's gonna happen. It just has to happen. I think with the end of Clone Wars season 7, we see Maul. We see Vader just for a little short bit.
hmm
Tells of the Empire. We see him just a little bit, and I think now we're really going to see him come into action, especially if Palpatine wants Maul out of there, and of course Marak is going to get he's going to get his end, and the 11th brother's probably going to dip out, and I think if there's one person to end them all or try to, it's going to be Vader, but of course he's going to get away somehow, some way, because he doesn't die. Um, but yeah,
That could be Vader
Vader's coming in.
wiping out the new apprentice. It's like we get this new season of Maul training up this apprentice to utilize and take over, and then whenever he right on the cusp of victory, it's like you get the and then
Nah,
Vader walks
dude.
in, and it's like, okay, game time.
Yeah.
And it's like he knows Anakin. Does he know Anakin is Vader? Like, surely
Well, yeah, I mean, he
he knows
would,
Anakin
because
was the apprentice. So like,
yes. So maybe that
Yeah.
would throw him in for a loop. And plus that would be the beginning of Vader being or Anakin being Vader. It's only been a year and a half, 2
mhm.
years maybe if
hmm
they flesh it out, but I think they said it's only one continuous story, this small show. It's all like one take pretty much.
So we've had conflicting reports on that. I can't really go into details, but we're kind of under the influence that there was a second season already planned. So I don't know.
Nice.
I have also heard the same thing though. I've heard that, okay, this is 10 episodes. This is going to show us how he got to where he's at. Um, but then we have gotten some information, and again, I can't tell you guys this with 100% fact. I just know that this is some information we got. This was back after Japan, roughly, um, dealing with some of the toys and stuff, but that possibly they've already got stuff ready, like they're going for a season 2. So who knows? I mean, I'm sure once the season's over, we're gonna want more. And
Yeah.
they seem to have a pretty good, 3 seasons of things. If it's only gonna be 10 episodes, it's not that hard to bounce back. But yeah, I don't know. I am curious as to that, and I guess I kind of thought it was going to be like the Inquisitors, like maybe we see more of the Grand Inquisitor, with this. It's kind of crazy though. After a year, they've already gotten all these Inquisitors made and ready to go. That they've tortured them because if you've read rise of the Red Blade, kind of what they go through, and with Barris and everything like that we've seen. So it'll be curious if we get what other how they tie some of the Inquisitor stuff into this.
Yeah.
You know
When
what
I
I
first
mean?
heard of the Inquisitors, I'm like, man, what is this? What are
Because
these fake Sith? But I like
like
them. I think they're cool.
yeah, because like Vader is gonna if they follow that comic book series from 2015, they kind of have to have him out there uh
Hmm.
leading his saber, because the Emperor kind of tests him a little bit. Um, sends him off to go find that I cannot remember the Jedi's name, but he's done the Barash vow. And he ends up, fighting with him and getting his kyber crystal after that.
Yeah, to
So
bleed
there's some
it.
stuff, and I don't know. Again, that's where the timeline stuff get a little confusing for me, um, but yeah, it would be cool to see any of those
Yeah.
people coming in. But I don't know from listening to the Emperor Wants You Dead. And I think it was like Maroc and 11th Brother. Like I feel like they're going to be getting chased by all kinds of people. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and that could be season one ends with, the Vader
Oh
breath
yeah,
or
that'd be
something like
awesome.
that. And it's like, and I think there's so much anticipation with this show and okay, Filoni just took over with Brenner. They're gonna be doing their thing. They want to make their name. I think Filoni is a bit more of an Anakin head. It's like in all of his projects, we see Vader, we see Hayden in some aspects. So it's like I think that's gonna be there in the aspect where it's like you can't do all of this and it's like have this dude just running around the underworld continuously messing up the imperial supply lines. It's like at some point that gets to the big dog.
Yep. Man. I don't know. The more and more I think about it, I'm like, dude, April 6th needs to get here now.
That was the
I
only thing.
know, man.
That was the only thing that made me mad during the trailer was when it said April 6th. I was like, no.
I know. I texted you the night before, Jimmy. I was like, yeah, the trailer's dropping tomorrow. It's going to come out next week,
Oh,
And that's what I was
yeah.
hoping for.
I thought February sometime.
Yeah.
I honestly did. I don't know why that had been stuck in my head for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure that was my own head canon or something. I was like, yeah, February would be a good time. I'll say that a bunch. But
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I was disappointed. I'm like, April, like what? We have nothing until April. Like they're jamming it. And I talked about this with Charlie. Is they're kind of jamming things up, and then this ends on May the 4th. The last two episodes will end on May the 4th. But then they're also overlapping with Mando and Grogu.
Yep.
Why not pull? I get that they want, they May the Force a big event and stuff like that. So I think that means we're not getting another Tales of series. But
And that's what pisses me off,
yeah,
man.
I was kind
May
of bummed.
4th is Tails now,
That's what I thought too. That's
Damn
what
it.
bums me out. But isn't that kind of weird to you guys? Like they're jamming. I don't know why they do that because they're jamming all this stuff into like those 2 months, whereas they could have pulled back, hit that at the end of February. We get this law. I mean, this is selfish, but they start that mid-February. That ends. Mando, all the hype's there. Mando and Grogu comes out, and then Star Wars is just like,
Yeah.
for I don't know,
We
3 months.
don't get anything until Ahsoka season 2, and we don't know when. It's before the end of this year, but that could be, they could drop that December if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would stink too. I don't know, man. It's so rough because you're really anticipating a show and then knowing that it just kind of comes out later is one thing, but the fact that the Mandalorian and Grogu hasn't been marketed too heavily yet. So now
It's weird.
we have to bank on what 2 weeks before it releases to be like, all right, here we go, and it's just like, man.
We'll see with the AFC championships today if they throw any commercials, and then the Super Bowl. Super Bowl will for sure be the
Yeah.
major commercial.
Yeah, we've heard rumors that it's going to be the very first commercial is going to be Mando and Grogu. Like that's right out the gate is going to be Mando and Grogu. Then you won't hear anything, then you won't see anything for it because they just spent like, oh, we're not making much money. Well, you just spent $9 million on a 30-second spot or whatever it is
Yep.
going to
Yeah.
be. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's
Man,
kind
yeah.
of bizarre.
Well, we for sure know that next month in February there are going to be 3 Maul Shadow Lord Funko Pops exclusive to the show. So we're gonna get 3 of those. I would assume Maul 100%. Maybe Devin, the Twi'lek character, and the third character could be pretty
Probably
much
the
anyone.
main antagonist.
It could be I mean, it could be that like officer on Janix. It could be that guy, the Brandel or whatever.
Yeah, what's his name?
Um, and it could be what is it, Neodaki?
Master E.
Yeah,
Could
Master
be Rook
E,
Cast too, though. Like that's a Vanessa
Rook
Marshall's
cast.
character that Mandalorian is going
Mm,
to show up later on as well. Two boot, yeah, what is it? Brander Lawson, that cop. I don't know. Be
Yeah,
interesting. I would want it to be that Jedi Master personally. That just
little turtle with his hood on.
yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
kind of sick.
But then there's also 8 Mandalorian and Grogu Funko Pops coming out next month too.
damn.
So that's already months ahead. And I also think they're gonna make some characters on there that maybe kind of give us some insight to what the movie is gonna have.
How many characters are on that Dejeric board? I bet you half of them. Have you seen them? I haven't seen the leaks for these, but I bet you a lot of them are probably like the monsters from like. Can you imagine
Oh,
that
the
Funko
fight,
set where it's like all the different?
that'd be tight.
I think that they could sell this massive table and you could have it
That'd be pretty tight.
for those gross OO beers,
Hey, Rhoda, yeah. Rhoda the Hut would be a cool one too.
Be a big one, yeah. They are releasing Shadow of Maul episode 1, the comic, on March the 4th. So I mean, we'll start getting some of that story, but I don't know.
Yeah, the comic and the show, it has me kind of thrown off because I'm like, where, like, is it before or after the Mall series? Like,
I don't know. And I also was wondering too because they're re-releasing the Hidden Empire omnibus, and that's the one with Kira.
Mm,
So is
oh
that
yeah,
bringing her back into back into things? Because I was wondering about that because I mean, I love Kira,
yeah,
so it doesn't really say anything. The only thing that they really say about the comic is it's Madibek Musabekov, who's the guy who did the Jedi Knight series, which I thought was pretty sick, pretty good
mm,
series. He's the one who's responsible for this. So, but it has zero details on what it's about. It shows on the first cover, though, it shows that cop and it shows two boots on the cover of the first issue. So it's
Two
gonna
Boots. That's
be
the droid, right?
yeah, that's the one that's the kid that the
hmm
comedian that voiced was it what's that droid on man? You know what I'm talking about. That comedian. He's also voicing that kid.
It's gonna
Um
drive me nuts.
oh, it's right here. I have the
Oh, Richard Ayoade.
yes, he did so
That's so funny.
yeah, he did
Um,
was it QO or Q9 or whatever?
Q9-O.
That's it, Q9 show. So it'll be interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
So iHodges says we can have both Tails and Shadow Lord on May 4th. Didn't Tails get it dropped whilst the Bad Batch was still running? Yes, that is correct, actually. I remember that. See, and that's I just feel like the Tales of series is so underrated because 3 15 to 17-minute episodes of a character, and that's all you need. That's all you need. And even Empire, I feel like everyone can agree that that's kind of like the lowest one out of the 3 so far. But
hmm
even that one was so good. I mean, there's so many good tidbits. Young Thrawn, Night Sister Morgan Elsbeth, seeing freaking Grievous slay a whole bunch of Night Sisters. Like, no, I don't think anyone in their rightful mind expected that to ever happen, and that was cool. The Barasafi kind of getting the closure, that was cool.
Did she get closure though? Because we still don't know where she's at.
Oh, true. And
'Cause-
see, speaking
In
of
the
head
ether.
canon, in my head canon, she's done. She just was whistled off, Um,
yeah.
but yeah, dude, I
I'll
want
be
another Tales
pressed
of.
if she comes back.
She comes back in the Filoni Endgame film and
If
just
somehow
like
she returned, yeah,
The
defeats
mother.
Thrawn.
yeah.
Like what? Oh
I
man.
think they're too focused on the mall and the movie though. Like as much as I would love to get that show, like I think they have too much going on with in-house operations with turnover along with these things going on. It's like maybe they prolong it and push it back.
Hmm.
But I think they're more focused on what they have at hand right now.
The original Tales of didn't come out on May the 4th. It was like a September or October release,
hmm
right? And then they started
Yeah.
Yeah.
releasing them like a year and a half later. They started releasing them back to back years, I think. On so I mean, there's a possibility. It just
maybe that's our lull period. It's like in between what we have in Ahsoka. It's like, okay, here's your Quinlan Voss episode, Brandon, that you've been clamoring for. Like
Mhm.
give us something, but give us something in that meantime.
My goat, get him out there.
I still
Um,
think that Asajj of the underworld, that was like a teaser for a new series or something, because they could show up technically in this because she's back. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what happens? Like, she
Hmm.
could show up in this series. Quinlan could show up in this series. There's a lot going on because we know Quinlan's running around. I mean, I know that's much later in the Kenobi timeline where, he's helping the path and all that stuff. But I mean, there's possibilities a lot of people could show up, this just being a year outside of Order 66.
oh
He's
yeah,
surviving, man. That's
And
the MO for those guys. It's like
yeah,
just survive, and that's the same for Maul. So it's like doing the same things. Your paths will probably intertwine at some point.
yeah, yeah, man. I
it'd
need
be like
something
Tales of
to.
the Survivors and just like two different stories of like, you know, so
Yep, our anniversary is on May 4th.
Brutal.
Yep, lots of Star Wars on that day. Celebrate love and Star Wars. It's great for us. Um, but what's funny is on our second anniversary, we went to Kansas City to, or our first anniversary, we went to Kansas City and went to like the Royals Star Wars night or whatever. Dude, there was like nothing Star Wars. I'm like, is it today? Is today the Star Wars game?
You're
And
the
they
one guy
showed like
dressed up.
I had a nice Boba Fett shirt underneath my Royals jersey, and Lindsay had her Porg shirt underneath her Royals jersey, and we're just like walking around, and there's like one stormtrooper guy, and then like they showed one screen tidbit, and it was just like, "May the fourth be with you," and it's just like, "Are you kidding me?" Because like
Boo.
yeah.
Mike went to that Pirates game, right? Or
Yeah, I
not
think it was
Pittsburgh,
Pirates, or it may have been the Altoona Curve, so one of their minor league stuff.
the
But
minor
yeah,
league, yeah. And I'm like, dude, even look at this. Like everyone's dripped out in Star Wars. This is bullshit. And every other MLB team, they go crazy.
they have
Like the
like
Giants.
bobbleheads and
Yes, man. I'm like, dude, this is
or
bullshit.
jerseys. Yeah, that sucks. But that's what you get with Kansas City, I guess.
Jeez. Jeez. Um, but yeah, it was weird, but we had a good time. But well, Maul, awesome. Should we wrap it up pretty quick with Taika Waititi's movie? What did you guys see Love and Thunder? I don't watch Marvel. But I
Yeah,
know
it was
that he did the
fine. It
Love
was
and Thunder.
nothing like Ragnarok, though. I mean, the hype for Love and
Yeah.
Thunder was so big because Ragnarok might be one of the best Marvel movies out there,
Yeah, it's
and
a top five.
it fell short. Like, I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
and he tried to go the comedic route again, and it was like he tried to kind of undersell the seriousness um of the role, and
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because people were arguing about how like people were mad about that show because like I mean she's basically dying of cancer, and they're
mhm,
being haha funny, and it's like, dude,
yeah,
like
I know someone who did that. It's not very funny. So
yeah,
it's
most
like
people, yeah, I mean most people do, and it's I guess maybe I don't know, yeah, that's not I don't know, it wasn't good.
so
Yeah.
we'll see. It's every a different direction, different cast, different people watching over. So it's like you can have hope that we'll see what's happening. I think there needs to be some more information released. Like, Starfighter, I think they've given me nothing, but I'm still excited. Whereas this one, they've given me nothing and I am not excited. So I don't know. I kind of need to see where that's going.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. So Taika Waititi, don't know too much about him. But yeah, I just hope the movie's good. And what's crazy too is like the other day, I think Lindsay actually told me like, we need a funny Star Wars, like a funny something. And I think that would be kind of cool, get out of the
Hmm.
ordinary, where it's something serious or, people take it way too serious, like Skeleton Crew, like that was something way off in left field, but it did so well and it was so fun that it's like you can definitely make a funny Star Wars. That's why I was really on Luke's outpost on Instagram. I commented underneath like, this is a perfect opportunity to get a Max Rebo movie. It's gonna follow him, getting hired to do gigs and play
Just
with the
grinding.
bands and stuff. And if you play the Lego Star Wars game, the Skywalker Saga, when you hear his voice, he's like a jazzy down south. You can tell that he just has that blues to him.
The
And
Tales of Max Reba.
the Tales of Rebo. And it's just like, how funny would that be to just see him, setting up shop, setting up the band, and it could also be serious, like Taika Waititi mentioned. There's some high stakes. Getting away. He almost died on the sail barge. Like this dude's been through some stuff, and clearly, messing with scum, you're gonna encounter some tough times. Maybe someone doesn't pay him, and things go south. I don't know, but I just think it would be a funny, cool thing, because if you don't like Max Rebo, I just don't think you're a human being. I think you have some hate in your heart that you need to get rid of. But Max Rebo is amazing, awesome character. But yeah, I don't know what this is going to be about, but of course it's Star Wars, so I'm going to be excited no matter what.
You know, he did Jojo Rabbit. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It was about like Holocaust, but it's a kind of like this is what gives me hope for the Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Is like he takes the Holocaust. He does play Hitler in it, which it's pretty hilarious. But he has these moments. I know he adapts it from a book. I think was it Christine Lewin's 2008 book, but he takes this movie and he takes this topic, and it's super serious, it's super intense, but there are moments in it that you're just cracking up laughing because of the way he handles things, and he handles some of the stuff that people are afraid to kind of talk about. So it gives me a lot of hope that, like, his recent comment where it's like high stakes, but you can still have humor. It kind of Ragnarok-esque, it'll be a little,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll lean a little bit more towards Ragnarok than it would the intensity of Jojo Rabbit and the Holocaust, I would hope. But, he has the ability to write and direct really powerful stuff. And I mean, I don't know about as far as flops go for him. I mean, I think Love and Thunder might be the only one people are really upset about. Like,
And he's acknowledged it, which is a big thing. It's like
yeah.
it's one thing to let it slide, but it's like he's come out and owned it and talked about it multiple times. And I think you bring up a great point with the JoJo movie. Like at the end of that movie, dude, the ability to go from the high to lows that you get is pretty insane, and you feel it very, pretty deeply.
Mhm.
So I'm with you, man. I'm kind of up there.
I'm gonna have to check that out, because I just looked at pictures of it and I'm like, there's no world that I'm laughing at a picture of Hitler. Um, because
Like
Taika
the
Waititi just definitely, he looks just like him, but you can tell that goofy side of him, because I was listening to a bunch of interviews with Taika Waititi, and he is just like a straight up guy. He just seems super normal, and it's just like, oh, you can see like his abilities, and like his presence is pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check that movie out.
And like Patricia I don't know how to say her last name. Hobart is in it, and she plays like Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and like she again kills the role. So it's like there's levels where she's a very humorous character and like very funny, and so like she comes in and adds that level where it's not just the director. So it's like depending on who they cast, like they'll be able to pull things off.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm excited for it. Um,
Do you think it's
yeah,
gonna
man.
happen though? I mean, I don't
Uh,
know. If you guys talked about that the Kathleen Kennedy exit interview where she basically, I feel like she set Filoni and Linwin up for failure. Like, I don't feel like she did them any favors at all. Like, I mean, I was like,
Mm-mm.
what are you doing? Like, I've been a defender of Kathleen Kennedy in a way where I'm like, everything I love about Star Wars since the merger or since the buyout, like she's responsible for. Everything I don't like, she's responsible for. But I feel like she kind of threw those two under the bus. Like, oh, all this stuff's out here, and if they don't do it, it's on them, not me. Blah, I'm out. You
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
I mean, do you guys think
I
it's
could
gonna
have done all
happen?
this. I could have done all this, but now I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I mean, she
shelve it for
talked
these
about
guys.
being afraid of, oh, it's really bold and it breaks the mold. Like, okay, so you're basically, I don't know. I just that interview made me so angry.
It's the
That,
influencer's fault that my like,
yeah,
like,
I didn't do this.
yeah,
Make a
it's
good
like
movie and people will be fine. I don't know, but I don't know if it's even. I hope it happens. I really, really do, because I think that It's good. Like, I
Oh,
feel like the Marvel stuff, I know, Brandon, I didn't know you didn't watch any of it, but like, if you get into like the Disney Plus stuff where they just do like different genres and things like that, like
Mm,
Star Wars, you gotta keep adapting. You just can't. You're never gonna hit that on the head again. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you only get to see something for the first time once, and uh, you need to push our boundaries. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibility. I'm just worried that they're not going to do it. Um, I hope they do, but I'm concerned about. I mean, it hasn't been like a real good track record of Disney announcing things and then actually coming through.
yeah.
So
Um, well, everybody in the chat, if you don't know what these movies are, really quick, the things that Kathleen Kennedy said on the exit interview is that James Mangold's trilogy, uh, or
Dawn of the
Simon
Jedi,
Kinberg,
yeah,
this is James Mangold, Dawn of the Jedi. That script is on hold, so that's in the back.
because it's mold breaking. Oh, I'm afraid of change.
It's like, huh? What would the Jedi be? 50,000 years ago.
That's a
Like,
that is a tough ask though. I mean, think about trying to create that because if you screw that up, oh my god, people are gonna be
yeah.
so mad. We would be mad.
what, two
Oh yeah.
botched old Republic
Not
projects?
even before, like 25,000 years ago, like the beginning, the dawn of the Jedi. Yeah, it's just nuts, man. Like the idea that even we're gonna tackle that is crazy to me.
That
You
is
gotta
pretty
intro
wild.
you gotta introduce the Jedi. That's a
Yeah,
whole bucket of worms.
be
And
awesome,
that's what
man.
I'm afraid of too, is it's in that same ballpark as like the origin of Yoda's species. Like if we're to
Ooh,
go back,
Mhm.
that's a good point. That's a
like
good point.
You better
it
not
would,
mess
I
this
don't
up.
know. You got to call George, and I mean, even at that point, George Lucas, has made 6 Star Wars films and still got flack from it. The creator of it. So, and that I feel like that's another thing that people forget. They're like, "Oh, Kathleen Kennedy, what the hell?" And it's like, yo, like, did y'all live through the prequel era? Like, do you guys not remember? I got bullied as a kid for liking Star Wars. Come on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're like, God,
Hayden
Hayden
got bullied
Christensen.
out of a career.
Yeah,
I mean, think of
Jake
Jake
Lloyd,
Lloyd. Yeah, like
Ahmad
geez.
Yeah.
Best. Like, good lord, man, grown men and little children. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Mm. But yeah, people suck. Taika Waititi has turned in a hilarious script. This is another one of those exit interview drops here. Um, Probably the one that I'm most excited for because I like his music as well is Donald Glover turned in a script for his Lando movie, which I thought that was just out the window, but it looks like that's still going, even though he did have some health issues last year.
It's they talked about it. I didn't even know anything was going on, so that's kind of crazy. Glad he's all
Yeah,
right.
super weird. Um, and my probably my actual favorite is the Hunt for Ben Solo is still a possibility. Um, Dude, come on. Freaking before we got on, John was telling me, he's like, "Hey, do you want this Kylo Ren puzzle?" I'm like, "Yes. Yes, I do. Send it to me." But I mean, Kylo Ren, awesome. Steven Soderbergh, that's even better. Um, just cool stuff. Need that.
Man,
Do they bring him back with the new trilogy if they redo it?
I would think
Surely,
so.
right? Like they redo the Knights of the Ren story. Like surely they incorporate the stranger, like the upbringing. Like I don't know. I feel like Kylo Ren has such a drive behind him right now. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
Hayden treatment. It's like everyone kind of shit on him in the beginning, and then it's like you get around and it's like, oh, okay, like of the trilogy, like here we are, and then okay, do we get more? And then we get the little bit of a retcon. Well, I guess not a retcon, but like somewhat of a change to the story.
Yeah.
well, that's what's weird. They don't focus on the one thing that like people who didn't like the sequels. I mean, most people liked Adam Driver and Kylo Ren.
Mhm.
Not necessarily like my favorite, but like I know like a majority of people really enjoyed his, and I think he did a great job of being that character. But why not capitalize on that and then lead that into something? If you, I don't know. I just know that those people they're not driven by the same thing we are as far as like the
Yeah.
story and stuff. But it makes sense to me to do something with Kylo Ren. If you got this
Mhm.
script, you got someone like Soderbergh and Adam Driver's already on board, and they already say it's going to be not going to be a high budget movie. It's going to be pretty easy to make, and then you bring back or you make people fall in love with the sequels again, or for the first time because of how good this movie is, and then you can introduce Ray, and I mean, you could set yourself up for success, but it's like they don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
it's
just I know
it's
that
gonna be weird.
they're all money and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons I was worried about Dave taking this new position. But with Linwin there, I'm like, all right, she's going to
Yeah.
handle all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was my main thing with Dave was I'm just like, yeah, it's cool that we have someone who likes Star Wars and who's a fan, but at the same time, I don't know if I need Ahsoka season 39, because that's what's
He
gonna happen.
does. He is slightly obsessed.
But I love the Hayden, I love the Vader treatment. I love, giving us that because I don't think anyone else would.
We would
Um,
not have had Thrawn without him. So
Yeah.
it's
and
like,
that's the
like
thing too.
that's
But I do like how there's like the checks and balances. We have Linwin Brennan on the side being like, let's not incorporate that. Let's save that for a different project. I feel like that's kind of the approach that she would have with some of Dave's ideas. But once again, I don't know how none of that works. I don't know what a reading room looks like. I don't know what
I
the
would,
front door looks like there.
would it
Whatever.
kill them to do a series of show us what's happening? You know what I mean? Like I've argued this so many times with my bosses at school. It's like, tell us how things work. Show us,
Mm.
because if you don't tell us, we make up the narrative and it's not going to be in your favor ever. Like we're never
Oh
going to be
no,
like,
no.
well, they're really going through it, so we should feel sorry for them. I've always talked to my
Mhm.
principals like, if you communicate and tell us what's going on, you don't necessarily need to, we don't have to agree with you, but if we know why you're doing something or how you're doing something or what drove that, like I don't know why it's such a secret. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why does it
Mhm.
have to be such a secret from us? And then you could probably win a lot of people over very simply by being honest and upfront and be like, hey, like we just didn't think, we just don't think this is going to work.
Right.
Or, this is the finance. Like I know some of that stuff's boring, but I bet you a lot of Star Wars fans would pay attention if they were honest with us about how things worked.
I
Yep.
think of the Tomlin quote where it's like, "I'm not gonna show you the making of a
Oh
sausage because you
yeah.
may not like everything that goes into it." And it's like, yeah, but, like, at least you're transparent, like, at least
Yeah.
we see it, I see it, so that's where it's like, I'm so with you where it's like, "Hey, man, I'd be so much more open to commentary and feedback," where it's, instead of them coming out and saying, "We want consistency," and then they do things that aren't consistent, and it's like, "Well, okay," like, you're kinda backtreading on what you said, so, like, that's where it's like but if you'd gone out and showed us the process and then things happen, alright, well, things happen.
Yeah, and that I mean, I feel like people, I mean, there's still gonna be unreasonable people out there, but people are gonna understand, like, yeah, life gets in the way. It gets in the way,
Mhm.
and everyone works, and you probably have things that you plan to do at the restaurant, but then something happens, a delivery doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, we get that
Yeah.
stuff, and I think that it's just like anything else. If you show us that you're human, we'll probably have a little bit more sympathy, and
Mhm.
things would go. And I bet you they could probably sway some of those people who sell hate. I'm not all of them because hate's gonna sell, but
Yeah.
whatever. Sorry, I'm rambling. I
Nah,
apologize.
it's all facts though. That's the thing. It's so true. Do you ever think, especially with a Mike Tomlin quote, do you ever think that Disney is also just like, we do not care.
Yes.
Oh,
We
Yes.
do not care.
I think Bob
Yeah.
Iger is 100% focused on making money and doesn't give a beep about
Yeah.
us.
They care
Yeah,
about the
that is.
shareholders.
Yeah, but you would think that making good movies and making good product would get you more money. I mean, I feel like I don't know a lot about business, but I think if you make a good movie and that movie makes $2 billion, shareholders are happy,
Mhm.
and
But it's also you still make an average movie, and you still sell the merch, you still sell the rights, you still do Disneyland, you still get the absorbent amount of income and profits that come from just putting out the Star Wars name on something. So it's like that's where it's like would it kill them to do something that we all love? Yeah, probably. Like, because, like, at this point,
Yeah. I
there's
don't
me
know, man.
rambling.
But once again, it's all facts. Can't be mad at that. Um, there was one comment up here that I thought was pretty funny.
he's saying
I'd
everyone
love,
else is not funny, just so you know.
yeah, you guys are all too serious. Um, I love to see a Star Wars Cheers type series, that comedy mixed in with tales um, of the bar cantina that it's based in. Pelimoto and the Jawas are regulars. Lucasfilm make it so that'd be cool. Introduce some new characters, new you know, bar regulars. I think that would be funny. Seeing new people come in, come out. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be fun.
Just I with the way the Shadow Lord goes, right? Let's watch that Brander Lawson guy, and let's see what the cop side of this thing is like, and then say, could there be a cop show in Star Wars?
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like that would be sick.
That would be sick.
Like Judge Dredd,
Yes,
but Star
something,
Wars.
something. I mean, I don't know. Like, just you're just doing a week to week with underlying story that kind of runs through it. Doesn't have to be a Jedi, doesn't but you got the droids, you got criminals, you got these different species
It'd
and
be
things like
cool.
that. Yeah, and then like different species do different things. And they see things. I don't know. You could do a lot of commentary on life in that. You know what I mean?
Like
Like you
how
could bring,
deep is the corruption? Like
yeah, like
that would be cool to see.
you got politics and you've got like I mean you could do just you could make that, you could infuse that with so much about the world similar to Andor that that would be huge too.
That would be
Man,
cool.
speaking of cop in Star Wars, I was like, have we seen a cop in Star Wars? And I was like, oh yeah, Nero, Cad Bane's childhood friend that sadly passed away.
R.I.P.
Cad
RIP.
Bane, dude, sucks. That
Well, we
dude.
kind of got. I mean, it's not the same, but we got our boy. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. Your love interest from the Book of Boba Fett. Uh, the dude. They just released the Lego set of
Oh,
him.
Cobb Vanth.
Oh, my
Yeah,
love
yeah, yeah,
interest.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like Fennec. I was like, what? What about her?
Yeah,
Uh,
so, like, we kinda get the
oh yeah,
sheriff, we get the out-of-towner cop, like, that Western vibe, but,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's, like, there's no inner city, like, you know, I don't know, like, I'm just thinking of, like, a regular office desk cop walking in, like a Mark Wahlberg kinda cop walking in.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm. That'd be
be
kind of
awesome,
dope.
I think.
Yeah, Cobb Vanth, my what the Silver Fox of the Galaxy. That's who that
Yeah,
is.
that boy's
Um,
handsome.
but yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, Jimmy, let everyone know where they can find you at Explore the Force.
Yeah, so check us out at
Yeah,
Explore the Force on everything, social media. We have a website up now. We've got that's kind of new. We're gonna be dropping some of our book breakdowns on there. We've got some essays and things like that, stuff that we're passionate about. So that's kind of new. And then of course we have the podcast, the YouTube channel. We do lives and we do all kinds of stuff. Just give us a follow. You'll figure it out. And it's just, it's if you like these guys, you'll like us too, because we just kind of sit around and we just chat Star Wars um, and if you like British accents, you'll definitely like Explore the Force, right? Sounds like I sit down with Harry Potter every week and talk a little talk a little Star Wars. So, but
yeah, guys. Here's the website. Look at this. Look at
so
this
That's
yeah, we're
clean.
awesomeness.
getting ready to update some of this stuff. I think some of it doesn't look great, but it's a start. And so we got blogs, and we're going to be adding some book stuff on there as well, and just different things. So it's a living document, as they say, and we'll start to kind of change things.
That's awesome.
That's so fire. Hell yeah. Oh my God, it's Jack and Lego Mall. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, guys, it is in the description. Explore the Force. It's gonna be super hard to not go follow them because it's right there, so you have no excuse. So yeah, go check out Jimmy, Explore the Force, and doing good things over there. But yeah, John, wrap it up, man. You got it.
Oh, dude, it's another day, another Sunday. Make sure we follow Jimmy. He's 112 followers away from that what was it, 10K? Like,
Get it.
so right there, we gotta get that this month. And then let's get some hate watching on the New England Patriots because we're gonna support the Broncos
At
today.
least for one more week.
Um, one more week, that's all they get. Everybody gets one. Um,
That's all we need. Just
yep.
one game. One
And
game.
we're here, man. Every Sunday, enjoy it. Look for the new videos and the new things we got going. Brandon's got his things going on Spotify and now, like, make sure to check that out. And yeah, great times, man.
Yep, absolutely. Make sure you give us all a follow, guys. Thank you for joining us today. We had a good turnout today. Thank you for everyone chiming in. Of course, every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we're live talking Star Wars for the week. So, with that being said, guys, y'all have a good one. May the Force be with you, and we'll see y'all next time.
Have a great Sunday, guys.